Besatheus is a world where civilization has risen and fallen many times. The remains of once great cities litter the land, great statues and towering buildings lie in ruins, and ancient war machines rest on the abandoned battlefields. In this ever-changing and vibrant world, the clans engage in an age-old battle of magic and science, where the weak cling to the vestiges of once great civilizations and fight for power over the scraps. The world draws near an end, a great evil has arisen, and heroes must rise to protect what is left and restore the glory of a once great people. Leo is a young human who has grown up on the island of Edgerin and is eager to start his life as a pilot. He goes to the academy every morning where he studies military tactics and physics. He is very good at his studies and excels in nearly all aspects of the academy. One afternoon, there is a dull throbbing pain in Leo's head that wakes him from a deep, dreamless sleep. "We have to get out of here now," he says to himself as he quickly gathers up his things and rushes out to the academy doors. He pauses for a moment and listens. He heard something like an airplane up in the sky, and he thinks he might even have heard some kind of explosion. He decides to go up to the roof and looks around to see where it came from. Leo finds out the town has been attacked by a goblin army and sees that it is overrun with goblins and things are not looking good. He looks over to the east to see the sunlight breaking through the trees and sees nothing but forest. As he looks closer, he finds some goblins burning the forest. From the east side of the roof, he sees a dark war machine hovering above the trees and figures running from it. This place is doomed, Leo thinks to himself while the goblins are lighting up the whole forest. He carefully climbs down from the roof and runs to the runway to get into his airplane. He thinks to himself, "I have to save the forest," as he turns on the engines and prepares to take off. Just then, two of Leo's friends Ein and Jack get to the runway and run up to Leo's plane. "We heard explosions and saw a war machine," Ein says. "We have to hurry," Jack yells. "It's up in the air and heading for our town." "Okay, let's go. Everyone, get in the plane," Leo replies and stays in the pilot seat. Ein gets on top and loads the aerial Gatling guns. Leo pulls back on the stick and the plane quickly lifts off the ground. He flies over the trees and heads towards the forest. The goblin flying machine was slowly floating over trees and came into view. It was a blimp with many goblins aiming their machine guns everywhere. Leo looked over to Ein and Jack, who were both aiming their guns at the floating machine. They opened fire and the first barrage of bullets hit the blimp, but the goblins shot back. All of a sudden, a thick cloud of smoke sprayed from the goblin blimp and surrounded everything like a cloud. Leo couldn't see a thing. He was beginning to get nervous as he looked around the smoke for a sign of the goblin blimp. He had to find it and shoot it down if he wanted to save the town. He quickly flies out of the smoke and tells Ein and Jack to aim at the goblins. They shoot the Gatling gun at the goblins and they get very angry. Suddenly, many goblins appeared at the blimp holding extra guns. Leo knows what to do. He quickly flies up high into the sky and is preparing for a big, nasty attack. Leo says, "Boys, I have an idea. All of us will jump onto the blimp and deliver the most wild attack they have ever seen." "Are you sure this will be safe for us all? That is kinda dangerous, you know." Ein questions. Leo quickly replies, "I'm very sure because the blimp floats and we have a soft landing on top. Don't worry, you guys just do a sneak attack at them." Leo flips a switch and his plane starts to autopilot. All three get ready to jump out of the plane onto the blimp. They open the door to the cockpit and get ready to jump out. The plane flies them straight at the goblins. As they get closer to the blimp, they open fire with their guns. Their aim is so good, the goblins start to fall off down into the forest as they are hit. The blimp is riddled with holes but is still floating. But the army is still over 100 goblins. They land on the top of the blimp and climb down inside to face the goblins. The goblins' army are lined up and ready to fight them. "Let's do this," Ein yells. The big fight starts with a big boom from the goblins' cannon. Luckily, it didn't hit any of Leo's team. "Jack, you know what to do," Leo said. Jack hit a button and the airplane on autopilot flies nearby. It launches a rocket that smashes the side of the blimp. Many goblins died instantly and the fight starts to get easier for Leo, Ein, and Jack. A small fire starts on one side of the blimp and the team can see the fire spreading over to the goblins' ammo. Soon the fire gets to the ammo and there are some explosions. The goblins start to panic and some fall off the blimp. Soon, the fire on the blimp starts to spread to the fuel tank. All of them know there will be a big explosion here as soon as the fire spreads, so they call in the airplane and jump in. They got out as quick as they could just as the explosion triggers. They landed safely on the airplane as it flew by to rescue them. They could see the blimp burst into flames as they flew away over the forest. They were glad to be alive. The three of them go home with a smile of victory, very happy that they did it. But a laugh of evilness is still on the island.